have returned to the floor amidst a tremendous roar here at the Charlotte Coliseum. 11,666. There is not an empty seat. They have already been witness to one North Carolina team coming up with a win tonight. NC State defeated Furman 67-55. The Paladins, as a result, will go home 0-2 here in the North-South doubleheader. And the Tar Heels, rolling to a lopsided win over Furman last night, now take on the Citadel, a team that, as we mentioned earlier this evening, has been one of the real surprise clubs in the Southern Conference this season. They were a preseason pick to finish 8th. They have won 11 of 19 ball games. And Bones, in witnessing last night's loss, even though Citadel fell to Furman, that's a very well-coached basketball team. Les Robinson has done quite a job. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of good coaching to get kids to play the type of ball control that this club obviously has to play against clubs like State and Carolina if they hope to come out with a win.
Well, I think to Les, and like you said, Les Robinson is a fine basketball coach, a good one, real good one, has proven it over the years. He has the discipline that goes along at the Citadel to go along with the discipline that he puts on that basketball team, which is very important. And unless they are a disciplined ball club, recruiting isn't easy at a school like that, Marty. There's no sense in trying to kid someone about it, and they have to play as a unit more than any other basketball team or football team that there is, unless it's BMI or the military academy.
Dean talked about the Citadel again tonight, as Furman tried to do unsuccessfully, really packing that zone tight inside to try and deny the basketball to the likes of Sam Perkins and James Worthy.
Well, they shouldn't be able to do that because North Carolina is such an excellent ball club against the zone, as Dean said. They're able to find that big man. They'll find him for a alley-oop, or they'll find him as he comes up the middle, let him drop it down underneath. And they're good outside shooters now. The way teams have started to play North Carolina is to just simply make those outside fellows shoot. Darty's got to shoot that ball. Black's got to shoot that ball. And you can believe me, Mike Jordan doesn't mind shooting that ball.
Well, a young man to pay awareness of tonight as far as the Citadel is concerned. He's been on a tear of late. He had 27 last Monday night against Marshall University in a Southern Conference encounter, and came back last night with 16 against NC State. Felipe De La Pozas, a young man, a native Cuban, and Bones, he's quite a shooter.
Well, you don't mind if I just call him Poses, do you? Because I've gone through that name of that individual down at Sugar Bowl, and I've forgotten his name by now.
Mr. Olajuwon?
Olajuwon, that's right. Then he had 2 or 3 other names before that. Yes, this young man is a fine basketball player. I mean, a true one in every sense of the word.
Well, they have blown the clubs off the floor. Les Robinson is over huddling with his ball club. The Tar Heels are now heading toward their bench. We don't anticipate any lineup change tonight for North Carolina from the 5 that has run off 17 wins in the first 19 games for the Tar Heels. And, of course, Carolina, it goes without saying, is a prohibitive favorite to come up with a victory here tonight and go 18-2 on the season. The Citadel, as they played last night, obviously will try the same manner of approach to this powerful Carolina club in this game, and that is to play that zone defense and be very, very patient from an offensive standpoint. It was a very impressive show, believe me. If you might have been here last night or possibly heard the game, they were very, very impressive, and we look forward to that same thing tonight. PA announcer Sterling Martin, the introduction of the second game starting lineup.
Tar Heels, number 44, a sophomore, Matt Doherty. One forward for the Citadel Bulldogs, number 30, a junior, Gerald Toney. At the other forward for the Tar Heels, number 52, a junior, James Worthy. And for the Bulldogs, number 25, a junior, Louis Gilbert. At the center position for the Tar Heels, number 41, a sophomore, Sam Perkins. And for the Bulldogs, number 55, a senior, Wells Holland. Starting at one guard for the Tar Heels, wearing number 23, a freshman, Michael Jordan. At one guard for the Bulldogs, wearing number 34, a junior, Felipe De La Poza. At the other guard for the Tar Heels, number 21, a senior, Jimmy Black. And for the Bulldogs, number 24, a junior, Greer Hughley. The Tar Heels are coached by Mr. Dean Smith. The Bulldogs by Mr. Les Robinson.
You look into the Citadel bench. Les Robinson in his 13th year, the winningest coach in the Citadel history, seeking his 82nd career win as a head man for the Bulldogs. He's a dean of Southern Conference coaches, and of course Dean Smith in his 21st year as head coach of the Tar Heels, 453 career wins against only 145 defeats. Again, the lineup for the Citadel, it'll be Louis Gilbert, Wells Holland, and Gerald Toney up front. Felipe Delaposis and Greer Hughley in the backcourt. For North Carolina, James Worthy, Matt Doherty, Sam Perkins. In the backcourt, Jimmy Black and Mike Jordan. Second game officials, Bob Taylor, Jim Burke, and Mike Moser. It'll be Sam Perkins jumping center. Perkins 6'9". Wells Holland will jump center for the Citadel 6'7". Furman, or the Citadel rather, badly outmanned size-wise against the North Carolina club. We're underway, and James Worthy has the opening tip-off. He waits on Jimmy Black. Carolina.
Believe me, Marty, I'm sorry. They're packed back in there. They're not even out to the foul line.
Well, that puts the importance of the outside shooting of this man, Michael Jordan, and, of course, Jimmy Black. They go low to Worthy. The ball is stripped. Perkins picks it up and sticks it in.
One of the things you need to do against a zone like this is put it up and just be prepared to rebound, because if you do that with a ball club as small as the Citadel, you're going to put more of them back than you think.
Sam Perkins draws first blood. He had 22 big ones to lead his club to the big win last night. Furman throws it away. It'll be Carolina ball.
That's what it's going to be, a trap. Every time they can get it, they're going to get a trap on them, especially if you get it down in the corners. Stay out of the corners.
Well, that's the thing that Carolina wants to do. Force the ball to the sidelines and create trap situations. And the Tar Heels, with the exceptional speed.
With Perkins in there, just put that ball up on that backboard and let him go to the boards.
Michael Jordan, Jimmy Black. They look downstairs to Worthy, who flies high. The ball goes the other way to Jordan. Now it's Perkins. Very wisely kicks it back, and there's Jordan. He throws up an air ball. Matt Doherty and Sam Perkins checked by Gerald Toney.
That Jordan something. He took a shot 20 feet from where Perkins had an easy one.
Carolina leading 2-0, 18:40 remaining in the first half. This one just underway. Worthy with a turnaround from the lane. Rebounded by Wells Holland of the Citadel and knocked out of bounds by Michael Jordan. In this series between these two clubs, Carolina leads 11-0. The last time these two teams met here in the North-South doubleheader 2 years ago, Carolina won 51-40.
You see North Carolina picking up that man-for-man press, and they'll trap out of it.
Greer Hughley off to Wells Holland. He drives on Perkins. Doherty drops off of his man to help on the double team. Hughley penetrating and gets off the bank shot to tie it up at 2-2.
Pardon the way I say this, but I ain't believing that.
Tied up at 2 apiece we are. Sam Perkins with a Carolina hoop. Greer Hughley ties it up for the Citadel. Jimmy Black takes the jumper. Matt Doherty lets it go. Failing on the follow shot is Jordan as he tried to tip it up. And Hughley, the smallest man on the floor at 5'9", comes up the floor with the Citadel basketball.
I'd like to measure it.
Louis Gilbert, who had a good night last night against NC State. Toney, now Hughley. Citadel spreading out the offense. Hughley tries from long range this time. The ball goes out of bounds to Carolina. We talked during the first game of how quickly the NC State Citadel game was played last night, and we could certainly have more of the same with Carolina and the Citadel hooked up tonight. Jimmy Black from long range, and a foul is going to be whistled against Gerald Toney that'll put Black on the line for a pair.
Well, they can get the ball in a little bit closer than that. They got to know they're going to put it up there, because if they know it, they're going to be able to out-rebound.
So that's the first foul of the night, and Jimmy Black, a 71% free throw shooter. He had 8 assists last night. Put the ball up only 3 times, had 1 field goal, but as he has done throughout the course of the season, made such vital contributions in other areas.
He does things that can't go down in the stats. People say, oh, Black's just average. Well, they're comparing him to Phil Ford.
An unfair comparison.
Really, it's unfair. You don't find those but once in a lifetime.
Jimmy Black 2 for 2. Carolina on the strength of those 2 hits lead 4-2.
Here comes a trap in the backcourt.
Pressure in the backcourt. It's knocked away from Gerald Hughley. And Bones, this young man is really going to have his work cut out for him.
Well, he's not very tall. They say he's 5'9". I'd say he's somewhere around 5'7". Not any bigger than Monty Powell. And they're so much taller, North Carolina is, that they can't throw it over their head.
Jimmy Black stalking him, knocks it away. Black recovers, Keller shoots.
That's what's going to cost them. They're going to make them play ball one way or the other.
Carolina leads 6-2 as Black forced a turnover and converted. And Holland turns it over. Les Robinson up and off the Citadel bench saying something to official Jim Birch as he goes by, as Dean Smith sitting in between his assistants, Bill Guthridge and Eddie Fogler, traveling on Jordan.
I'd let someone bring the ball up the court a little bit faster. Maybe Tony bring that ball up the court.
Delaposes has not yet put his hands on the ball, and he's the man who's been shooting very well over the last 2 games. That's Louis Gilbert. He's pressured by James Worthy.
There's the pressure again.
They find Holland open, but Daugherty drops back to pick him up, and it goes outside to Hughley.
Holland didn't know how wide open he was.
Jimmy Braddock is going to come in a moment. Of course, the thing that the Citadel has to guard against is for Carolina get too big a lead here in the early going to force the Bulldogs to play the Tar Heel game, and at that point, it could be game, set, and match.
That's right. Absolutely. He's got, what Dean Smith's going to find out is if Braddock still has that magic touch. You know he's in that, put that ball up on the outside.
Well, he was brilliant last night with 16 points, Jim Braddock, his career high. He's stalking Greer Hughley right now. The ball goes to Tony, and he will put it up. Sam Perkins clears for the Tar Heels and off to Braddock. Cross-courting to Mike Jordan. He bumps into Hughley, and a good call by Jim Burke. Hughley did not have position.
Hughley tried to get position, but he wasn't able to. Jordan passed by, and here it is again. You see the long pass to Jordan. And you see that Hughley tried to stick his body out there instead of planting it out there. Had he not moved at all, the foul may have well been called the other way.
2 team fouls called against the Citadel now. Carolina yet to get one. Jimmy Braddock goes up.
That's what they were going to look for when they came in the ball game.
Carolina leading 8-2 on the slam by Worthy. Loose ball picked up by Mike Jordan, and Hughley called for another foul as he really bumped into Mike Jordan trying to get the ball back, and things are not going at all well for the Bulldogs.
You're going to watch that stuff just a minute ago. You see Braddock with the ball, tosses it high. That was James Worthy. He knew what was coming. Braddock knew what was coming. It was a telegraph play.
We've got a timeout on the floor with a score. Carolina 8, the Citadel 2. And right now, we'll pause for these messages on the Raycom Sports Network. Carolina leading the Citadel 8-2, 15:45 to go in the first half. And Bones, while we're talking about basketball, you've got a basketball camp coming up this summer.
Marty, I'm glad you mentioned that. I hadn't thought about it. It's going to be July the 18th, well, first week, and it goes through the 31st of July. Just right, Bones McKinney, Lees McRae College, Banner Elk, North Carolina, and the zip is 28604. Now, did you think I was prepared for that? You throw things at me I really don't expect.
Folks, if you think that was a commercial, you're right. Here comes Carolina back, trying to build a lead to 8 points if they can. Sam Perkins, Jimmy Black, inside Worthy, mismatch. Worthy makes his move, stripped to the ball. And coming out with it is Delaposes for the Citadel.
Delaposes touched it for the first time on the steal.
And they did an excellent job of defending against Worthy inside that time as they converged on the big guy and stripped him of the ball. There's Delaposes. He lets it go on the run, and I'll tell you, he can flat shoot it.
Oh, boy. What nice, and he knew he could do it.
8-4, the second field goal for Citadel, the other by Greer Hughley. Worthy with 12 last night in the win over Furman.
You just noticed the Citadel came out in that zone right quick.
That they did. Worthy shut off on the baseline. The ball is deflected by Della Poses and makes a nice play as he bounced it off Perkins and is picked up by Gilbert. Substitution momentarily for Carolina. Chris Bress. Wells Holland double teamed by Doherty and Perkins. A steal by Worthy. Big James can handle the ball. Now he'll settle up. Gets the ball to Perkins. Jimmy Black.
Now that was an assist, but he didn't tell you how clever it was. Beautiful.
From Worthy to Black to Perkins. Carolina by 6 at 10-4. Della Poses drives, lays it up and in.
That's what you call no decision by the defense whatsoever, because what else could he have done except go home with it?
They got the defense spread out, and Della Poses found the lane to the promised land. There's Worthy at the other end yet.
They just eating them alive in that movement.
Worthy 4, Perkins 4, Black 2. Carolina by 6, 12-6. 13:52 to go, first half action.
North Carolina will not let up on this.
Jimmy Black knocked it away, but Hughley got it back quickly. Relinquishes to Gilbert downtown.
Oh, that was an unusual shot.
Perkins, Doherty, Black, Worthy as Carolina moves it around very quickly. Doherty pressured inside.
Good hesitation there.
Worthy looking for Sam Perkins and finds him. And he finds Jimmy Black out front. Russ Robinson telling his club to get those arms up.
Going back to the zone.
That's Matt Doherty.
When you make them from there, you got to come after it. When you're 14-8, you got to make movement.
14-8 Carolina. Jim Braddock has joined Chris Brest at the scorer's table along with Jeff Barlow. So Dean Smith is going to make 3 substitutions when he gets the chance, and that chance is now. A Perkins foul on Wells Holland becomes the first of the night for the Tar Heels.
Marty, did you notice that Hughley isn't bringing that ball up the court anymore? Taking his man going down in the corner and getting away. Black's too fast for him.
So sitting down for Carolina, Matt Doherty, Michael Jordan, and James Worthy. And the aforementioned Messrs. Barlow, Brest, and Braddock are on now. Della Poses drives, and contact made as he drove the baseline before shoveling it off to Louis Gilbert, and a Tar Heel foul. As you look at the dapper Les Robinson.
Barlow's the one got the foul. They like that coach.
Not too bad. It would look excellent on you also, I might add.
I know. It would add to my size, something I really need.
2 fouls on Carolina. Louis Gilbert into the land of the Giants. Kicks it off inside to Tony. All kinds of blue jerseys around him. They bring it outside. Wells Holland. Loose ball. Picked up by Brust. He gives it up to Barlow. Down the lane to Perkins, knocked away and out of bounds. Good defensive play by Gerald Tony.
Something Dean Smith said to you. He was going to try his ball club with his bench early, not with the last 2 minutes of the ball game, just to say they got in the game. He's going to find out now who's going to help him down the stretch.
Well, he did it last night very early. In fact, the first substitute off the bench last night after Jim Braddock was Warren Martin. Carolina leading by 6 points at 14-8. Jim Braddock checked by the muscular Tony. Gives it back to Black on the other side. Bingo.
And they said he couldn't do it. Hell, here's Hughley now, bringing it back up, making a mookie out of me.
Gilbert drive. Barlow picks him up on the switch. There's a tip by Black. Good play.
He's showtime, baby.
Dean Smith with a big smile on his face as Jimmy Black climbed the ladder for the slam, heralding a Citadel timeout. Time remaining on the clock, 11:37. Carolina up by 10 here in the early going at 18-8, and we'll pause for this timeout. Carolina shooting 72.7% from the floor here in the first 8.5 minutes, and here's one reason why.
Well, Hughley gets in a bunch. The ball's thrown back out, and Hughley can't get it. Jimmy Black gets it. Now watch this. This is certainly worth another look. Doesn't happen often. Brought Dean Smith laughing from the bench as the Citadel called timeout.
Rick Brewer, the Carolina Sports Information Director, facetiously came by and said that's the first slam by a Carolina point guard in the history of Carolina basketball.
Well, it wasn't exactly a layup. I thought he had a tough time with it.
Rick, of course, was only kidding. Be that as it may, Carolina 8 of 11 from the floor. The Citadel, they have shot only 6 times, but they've made 4. Still, they trail by 10. Tony looks for a free man and finds him in Louis Gilbert and then gets it back. Plays to Hughley. He'll bring it up. He's had a tough time of it. Now the Carolina defense drops back a little bit. Black dropping off. Delaposes wants the ball, but Jordan denies him that right.
They're going to permit him for a little bit. They're going to go after him.
There's Delaposes. Gilbert also a good outside shooter. Here he goes, Delaposes. This one's off the mark, and Jimmy Black, who seemingly is doing everything, gets a rebound.
He's doing a fine job of everything he's doing.
Perkins fakes, puts it up. Off the glass, no. A tip, no. The follow by Jordan, no. It failed to go. Michael Jordan back with the ball. The bank shot misses again. It's out of bounds. Carolina keeps it. Well, for a flurry of misses, a ball last touched by a Citadel player.
I think Jordan's going to come out. I heard his nose or something. No, he didn't.
Barlow leaves in favor of Matt Doherty, and John Sterling has replaced Louis Gilbert for the Bulldogs.
Tough thing for Les Robinson, the coach of the Citadel right now, is keeping his morale up, keeping the fellows thinking they can win.
Great pass by Worthy, and a foul on Sterling.
That's almost a good move by Sterling. Good pass by... You're going to see it again. Dean Smith there. Here goes the pass into Worthy. He dumps down to Perkins. And Sterling almost made a good play. Perkins' arm just a little bit too long for a 3-inch swing.
An excellent defensive recovery by Sterling. He had dropped off of Perkins to help out on Worthy and then had to get back.
Did a good job.
Sam Perkins has his 5th point.
Things seem to come so easy to Perkins. He's just good motion, good movement, everything that he does. Always in the right place at the right time.
Carolina's now 4 for 4 from the free throw line, leading by 12 at 20-8. We've got 10.5 to go in the first half. Tony double-teamed in the backcourt. Up the floor at midline to John Sterling.
He'll put it up.
Delaposes. Rebounded by Mike Jordan and throws it off the back of Jimmy Black, but he saves it. Jimmy was not looking for the pass, but was able to recover in time. Bad pass delivered by Perkins.
I didn't mean to jinx him by saying good thing.
Mike Jordan all over Delaposes, tried to knock the ball away and gets a foul for his efforts, number 1. 13th foul for North Carolina as Jim Braddock, Warren Martin come in for Carolina along with Buzz Peterson. So Dean is starting to get some of the young men some game time here early, as he did last night.
He's going to find out, Marty. You're right.
Now it's Jimmy Braddock playing Greer Hughley, with Braddock having replaced Jimmy Black. Hughley goes to Tony. Tony inside foul. As he took it up, he'll go for 2. Matt Doherty commits a violation, his first of the game.
You're going to see Hughley make a beautiful pass here. Watch, he's going to scoot it all the way to the other side. Watch this pass. A beautiful pass. In the drive by Tony. And you see that he was fouled on the play.
Tony, a 6'3" junior from Darlington, South Carolina, scoreless tonight. Oh, for the Citadel, Delaposes has 4, Hughley 2, Gilbert 2, and now Tony will be shooting for his 2nd point. Wells Holland, blocked by Martin, saved at the end line by Sterling of the Citadel. Citadel 11 down, 20-9. Holland makes his move on Martin. Good reverse layup.
That's beautiful. So they can do some things well.
He led the team in scoring last year at 10.8. Has been averaging 8.6, and he showed Warren Martin some kind of big league move. Braddock to Doherty. He had a momentary screen. There's Warren Martin. Missed the layup. Citadel trying to get a run here. Sterling lets it go. Wild bank shot. Tony with a follow.
Let me get
He wanted the layup, but it rolls off the iron. He'll still shoot twice. And now Jimmy Black and Michael Jordan coming right back to North Carolina.
For the team. Substitutions for the Tar Heels.
That's a 5th team foul called against North Carolina. The Citadel has been charged with 4. So Tony, who just a moment ago hit 1 for 2 from the line, goes right back there. As Buzz Peterson and Jimmy Braddock sit down, along with Martin, Carolina now has Sam Perkins, James Worthy, Michael Jordan, Jimmy Black, and Matt Doherty, the original starting lineup. Tony, not a good free throw shooter, shooting only 53% as you look at the trio who just checked out. Martin, Peterson, and Braddock. (20-12). Furman, with Citadel rather, was down by 12. They now have run off 4 straight points. Still looking at an 8-point deficit with 8:38 remaining in the half. Worthy, end of lane, kicks it off to Jimmy Black. Robinson won a traveling violation, but they didn't call one. There's Perkins. Jordan. Perkins with that left-handed jumper. The ball slapped by Worthy back to Doherty. And Carolina will set it up again as it goes outside of Jim Black. Whistle and a foul. It's either against Delaposis or Wells Holland. It'll be against Delaposis his first, and the 5th against the Citadel as a team. I'll tell you one thing, Bones, Carolina can't be faulted for lack of trying. They're going to either Worthy or Perkins as many times as is necessary each time down the floor.
Well, that was a beauty. A beauty. They lobbed it in, and Perkins just followed it right into the basket.
And now a steal. James Worthy kicks it off to Matt Doherty. He couldn't find a handle on it. Tony's bid for the steal is denied. Worthy tried to shovel into traffic and was picked off by Wells Holland.
If he'd have bounced past that ball, Marty, he'd have been perfectly all right.
22-12 North Carolina. Perkins and Black together have scored 16 of the Tar Heels' 22 points with 8 apiece.
I believe that was a foul, Marty. I really do.
Doherty knocked down Tony. Number 2 against Matt Doherty as official Jim Bird signals a timeout. With a score, Carolina 22, the Citadel 12, and 7:35 to go here in the first half in Charlotte. Raycom Sports coverage of the North-South doubleheader will continue after these messages on the Raycom Sports Network. The announcers for this game are approved and selected by Raycom Incorporated. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or duplication of this broadcast without the express written permission of Raycom Incorporated is prohibited. Tar Heels lead by 10. 7.5 to go first half. Citadel has the ball. Delaposis converged upon by Black and Doherty. Finds Hughley clear and then gets it back. Dean Smith has substituted freely. Unlike Les Robinson, they get Delaposis free inside.
Keep that middle open, break him there, and you're going to get some baskets.
27-14. The Citadel starts to battle back. (22-14), UNC leading. Black, blind pass inside, too hard for Sam Perkins to handle.
But what a beauty. Put your hand up like a backboard and let it fall down that other hand.
He threaded the needle with a pass, and I don't know if Perkins was ready for it or not. Hughley, blocked by Worthy. Picked off by Matt Doherty. Les Robinson wanted a goaltending call. There is Worthy to the hole. He never had possession. That time he did. No good. Tip, no. Wells Holland, as the Bulldogs go the other way. Black's the only one back. It goes to the breaking Gilbert. He gets free inside and traveling is good.
Boy, Les Robinson is beside himself. You're going to see, you've been the deciding factor. That's usually going in. I believe it was goaltending. I believe it was.
Awfully, awfully close.
But you know, tomorrow it would just be another block shot.
You got it, Coach. Carolina's gone a little cold here after a great beginning.
Well, you take them in and out. They're not accustomed to it.
Mike Jordan is short. John Sterling had it knocked out of bounds by Matt Doherty. Carolina led 20-8. And the Citadel has scored 6 in a row. Or 6 of the last 8 points that have been scored. Holland spins away from Perkins. Foul by Worthy.
They do a good job in that hustling now. You got to know, you know they're in shape. There's no question about that.
They're not afraid of taking that ball to the hole either.
All right, watch Holland. Here he goes. He's making a good move. That's a little palm job there. Nevertheless, he was fouled on the play. He's going to get 2 shots.
A little palm job.
Little palm job. That's what it was.
I got you.
You saw that little bit.
Absolutely. Warren Martin and Chris Brust are back in for the Tar Heels, along with Jimmy Braddock. Matt Doherty, Sam Perkins, and James Worthy go out. And we've got a change for the Citadel, a rare change here in the first half. Eddie Paoni is in, a sophomore from Ocean City, New Jersey.
Watch this man the way he holds that basket. Oh, goodness me.
I watched him last night, Bones. That's the most unorthodox free throw delivery I've ever seen.
And he hasn't proven effective yet.
Not yet. He misses both ends. 22-12 the score. 22-14 the score remains. Warren Martin handles outside. Chris Brust now. Mike Jordan. There's a bid for the steal by Gilbert, leaving Jim Braddock open. He misses, but boy, did Mike Jordan get out.
Oh, dude.
Good move by Warren Martin.
Steve's off the bench. He wanted that. That young man needed it.
Field goal from Warren Martin to make it 24-14. Paoni pressured by Braddock and Black. Cross courts it to Wells Holland. Louis Gilbert for the baseline. Holland picks it off over Brust. Black took it. Braddock took it away. But he did it because of a personal foul. Now, is it against Jim Braddock or against Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan, and that puts the Citadel in a 1-on-1 situation. 2 fouls on Mike Jordan and Wells Holland, who just a moment ago showed us that very unusual free throw shooting style.
Take a look.
Missing 2 in a row. We'll try it again.
Take a look at it. You're not going to believe it. Now he's going to believe it. The Citadel dropped his 2 guards way back. I don't believe in that, Marty. I believe if the ball is tipped now, if they were up closer, they'd have a chance if it were tipped out. Puts it on his forehead, too. He made a believer out of me. That's the way I'm going to teach my boys to shoot in my camp.
24-6 on July the 18th.
That's right.
Well, now John Sterling and Chris Brust show some flaring tempers.
Now, what he was saying was, don't make fun of my teammates' foul shot.
You think that's what
I think that's what it was.
Sterling picks up the foul, his second.
All right, you're going to see, here's Brust with the ball now. There, he was fouled pretty good. And he pushed off when he did a little slap back. It didn't hurt anything. They're not mad.
Well, they go after it again. The ball goes inside. Good pass and a fine shot by Jimmy Black.
Good pass by Brust. Found a man deep.
Jimmy Black breaks into double figures with 10. 26-16. 4.5 on the clock. Paoni to Sterling from the pocket. He gets his own rebound, but he fouls Mike Jordan in order to get it.
We're going to see a chance. We're going to have a chance at least to see that again. He sees the shot go up from the outside by Sterling. Ball comes back, and they call Sterling for going over the back.
Here comes a big three in a moment. Matt Doherty, James Worthy, and Sam Perkins. Jordan trying to score for the first time in the game. He had 21 in the win over Furman last night.
You put Jordan in a run-and-gun game, and he'll get some points.
So Bruss leads, along with Warren Martin.
Mark gave the towel back to Perkins, and Perkins going to stay in the game. You can't carry a towel around out there.
Matt Doherty apparently is going to come in for Mike Jordan because he's still waiting. He is. Carolina has yet to miss a free throw. They're 6 for 6. And he'll pick them up in the backcourt again, leading by 12 points, 28-16. Delaposis on the stop and go. Cross courts to Peone. Back to Delaposis. Sean Brown is also in the lineup for the Citadel, and there's Tony getting inside for the putback. 4 points for Gerald Tony, 10 down the Citadel at 28-18.
North Carolina trying to get that momentum moved back now. They've lost it for a minute.
There's Perkins. He follows. He misses again. Sterling appears to be an angry young man.
Well, I believe he is. Hustling a little bit harder.
Don't give this young man too much room to shoot.
And the Citadel is slowly working North Carolina into their plan of attack.
Well, they've done a good job so far, although they are down by 10 points. Sterling double team, finds the open man in Tony. He turns, puts up the fadeaway. Worthy clears for Carolina. Jimmy Black up the floor to Matt Doherty. Wells Holland will return along with Hughley for the Citadel, and Buzz Peterson for Carolina. Doherty making his move. Got it. 4 points for the sophomore from East Meadow, New York. Carolina's lead has been 10, it's been 12, back to 10, it's back to 12. Under 3 to go in the half. At halftime, we'll be talking with Carolina Athletic Director John Swafford as Tony strikes again.
They're slowly working North Carolina right where they want them to be.
Only problem right now is they're not making much headway in terms of denting that deficit. Got it back to 10.
You got to stop that momentum before you do it.
Jimmy Braddock.
Sterling's a better basketball player after exchanging a little shoving.
Peone up ahead to Tony, who's had the last 2 Bulldog hoops. Matt Doherty on him like a blanket now. Delaposis picked up by Jim Black. Quickly off to Sean Brown. Fade away. And that would have not counted had it gone. Well, apparently it would have. Jimmy Braddock called for the foul, but Delaposis hit the basket, or hit the netting of the basket as that ball appeared to be hanging on the rim, but they instead call a foul on Jim Braddock. Holland and Hughley come back for the Bulldogs, replacing Sean Brown and Peone, and it's Delaposis shooting.
Oh, he's a good shooter. He's got good touch.
He's a 50% shooter from the floor and 82% from the line, as opposed to last year when over the course of the season he had only 40% from the field. So a vastly improved shooter, Felipe Delaposis. After those 2 hits, a timeout. Time remaining, 1:49 here in the first half. Carolina leading the Citadel 30-22, and we'll pause for this timeout. This reminder, be with us at halftime for a chance at winning an Atari video game by answering tonight's Hardy Sports Quiz question. That's coming up at halftime. Tar Heels shooting 46%, the Citadel 42%, Tar Heels 30, Bulldogs 22. And with only 1 minute and 49 seconds to go in first half action. Carolina owns possession.
Could be an important minute, 49 seconds, Marty.
Now the Citadel is now going to pick them up end line to end line, which is something we've not seen up to this point. Worthy with a fly pattern down the floor to Doherty. He controls. Jimmy Braddock, bingo.
That was important.
He had 16 last night, and it was a very, very memorable night for Jimmy Braddock because he did it in front of his parents and his sister and her husband here from Tennessee. That ball was kicked. Citadel will do it again.
You were talking about Braddock. He made 8 for 10. That's not bad shooting.
Well, he had 5 from downtown in the first half. Let me tell you that.
He was just trying to show his folks he could do it.
He did a heck of a job of showing them. The jumper by Delaposis is off the mark, but Wells Holland puts it up and in. Holland has scored 6. 32-24, and credit to Citadel. They are hanging right there.
In that 2-3 zone, they're going to make them shoot to the outside if they can. North Carolina continues to go in anyway.
Worthy throws it away. Worthy tried to hit Buzz Peterson and threw it over his head and out of bounds. Back comes Warren Martin replacing Sam Perkins, no doubt, for the final 63 seconds. And Les Robinson holding his index finger skyward, indicating one shot.
They'll have a tough time holding on it for that length of time, unless North Carolina permits it. Boy, I tell you.
Rear Hughley. The basket goes, and a Citadel foul is called on John Sterling, I believe. The basket will count, and they'll go to the other end to shoot him at the Carolina free throw line.
You're going to see the shot go up. Now watch this. Sterling came in over the top. There wasn't any doubt about that foul. But Hughley made the basket.
So Sterling has picked up 4 fouls here in the first 20 minutes of play. And he's going to leave with Louis Gilbert coming back in. Sterling, a very physical player. And he is paid for it dearly with 4 fouls. Warren Martin on the line is 0 for 2 on the season and is now 0 for 3. He runs it down after the tip by Doherty. 31-30, 29 seconds on the clock. 32-26 North Carolina. Buzz Peterson high posting to Worthy. Jim Braddock.
Peterson could take it.
12 seconds remaining. Braddock makes his move. Plays to Martin inside. Warren turns, shoots. Got it! Warren Martin, second field goal. There's Hughley letting it go at the buzzer, and it's in and out. So Carolina goes to the dressing room here at the break with a lead of some 8 points. But the Citadel played 20 minutes of tough basketball. Give them a lot of credit. They trail by 8 here at the break, 34-26. We'll pause right now for this timeout. The North-South doubleheader from Charlotte Coliseum. Marty Brenneman with Bones McKenney. Halftime of Game 2 of the Saturday night edition of the North-South doubleheader. And the Tar Heels lead the Bulldogs of the Citadel 34-26. Bones, we saw Dean Smith make a lot of player substitutions in the first half. You kind of feel like we may see the horses for the brunt of the second half.
We're going to see them long enough for this thing to be settled before anybody comes off that bench, I believe, because things like happened in the first half by the substituting, it hasn't been done this year to any extent, and I think it just threw off the flow of the offense, the momentum at times that they had. But certainly I think Dean Smith is right in doing it because you've got to find out what you've got.
Okay, right now we'll give you a chance to win an Atari video game if you can give us the answer to this Hardy Sports question. Right now coming up, here's the question. We'll be back at the Charlotte Coliseum for the second half of tonight's second game of this North-South doubleheader after we pause for this timeout. set to get the second half underway. Bones, a quick comment. Carolina led 20-8 and looked like they were geared for a blowout, but credit Les Robinson and his Bulldogs. They got everything back together again and seemed to wrest the tempo away from Carolina and keep it for the rest of the first half.
Okay, Marty, here's what's going to happen in the second half. North Carolina's going to try to play like they did in the first 10 minutes, and the Citadel's going to try to play like they did in the last 10 minutes. That's it. It's that simple.
Did you coach that simply? I mean, did you make it that easy?
Nothing I did was complicated, I can assure you.
Jimmy Black, Michael Jordan, James Worthy, Sam Perkins, and Matt Doherty. Enough said. For the Citadel, Greer Hughley, Louis Gilbert, Wells Holland, Gerald Toney, and Felipe De La Pozas. Carolina up 8, 34-26. Second half underway. Worthy low to Doherty. There's that zone defense again for the Citadel. Michael Jordan, quiet offensively in the first half, had but 2 points. Jimmy Black, the top scorer with 10 for Carolina. Jordan, yes.
That's exactly what Dean Smith wanted to begin this second half. You can be sure.
The first half scoring had Black with 10, Perkins 8, Worthy and Doherty with 4 apiece, Jordan and Braddock with 2 each. High score for the Citadel, Felipe De La Pozas with 8. Wells Holland had 6, as did Gerald Toney. Greer Hughley with 4 and Louis Gilbert with 2. They try to go up top to De La Pozas, breaking inside. He had a step on his man, but the ball carried out of bounds. Carolina gets it back, leading by 10.
When they're in man-for-man, Jordan's on De La Pozas. The amazing thing to me, he's the best ball player on the Citadel Ball Club. I think Dean Smith is giving Jordan a challenge.
De La Pozas staring Jordan in the eyes. The ball goes inside the Worthy, and Carolina 2 for 2.
Kept his eye on the basket. That's the important thing.
6 points for James Worthy. 38-26. That equals Carolina's biggest earlier lead. Holland pressured by Worthy. Gilbert picked up by Doherty with help from Sam Perkins.
He's fighting his way around the corner, wasn't he?
And he's battling a tough customer, I'll tell you, and Matt Doherty. There's Gerald Toney, short on the jumper, gets his own ball back. The one thing the Citadel Club will not do is panic. They are well schooled in this brand of basketball, and a 12-point lead is not going to take them out of it. We saw that in the first half. Hughley trying to get it back. It goes out of bounds off Jordan. Back to the Atlantic Coast Conference. The Tar Heels go next week. They will take on Maryland in Carmichael Auditorium next Thursday night, and then take on the Georgia Bulldogs next Sunday afternoon in Greensboro. There's Toney with a back shot.
That's good movement, man. Hughley got that thing started. Good movement.
So Maryland on Wednesday, Georgia with All-America Dominique Wilkins at the Greensboro Coliseum next Sunday. Jimmy Black looking for an open man inside, and nobody was looking for the pass.
Going to see that again. Nobody home, and Black passes the ball from this position right here. Nobody there. He thought the man would continue, but he didn't. 38-28
Carolina. Here's an interception by Worthy. Up the floor. Good pass to Perkins. Slaps it back to Jordan. One-on-one.
Hey, that's what you call thinking man on his feet. Off his feet, too. Perkins slapped it back.
Carolina back up by 12, and Les Robinson signaling for a timeout at a most opportune time, we might add, for his Citadel club. So Carolina has come out shooting the ball very, very well with his timeout. 17:24 to go in the ball game. Carolina leading the Citadel 40-28, and we'll pause for this. The Bulldogs by 12 points with 17:24 to go in the ball game as we take a look at the multi-talented Jimmy Black.
Here's goes Jimmy Black tapping the ball back. No, it was Perkins tapped it back.
That it was, and Michael Jordan got the layup on a heads-up pass by Sam Perkins.
Beautiful.
We go back to the live action. Gerald Toney and the Citadel trying to get back close again. They were down by 8 at the break. They trail by 12 right now.
North Carolina putting a full press on them in the front court, of course. All over. Going at them as aggressive as they did in the first half.
Perkins,
yeah, I'm sorry.
He swiped at it going by, and Hughley was able to recover for the Citadel. Littlest man on the floor. De La Pozas driving on Jordan. Double team, loose ball, picked up by Perkins. The big guy spins by Hughley, and he'll hold up. Jimmy Black.
Now to call this Jimmy Black night.
He has scored 12 and reigns as a top Tar Heel scorer. 42-28. Now Carolina by 14. That's their biggest lead. Delaposes kicks it off to Tony. Pressured by Black and Doherty, and now to Hughley out front. Gilbert is left open. Oh, tipped by Tony, and he showed great jumping ability, but didn't get it to go.
He went up and up and up.
Waiting is Warren Martin to come in for Carolina. Saw quite a bit of first half action off the Tar Heel bench. Matt Doherty puts up a rare shot that's short. Run down by Hughley. Worthy goes down in the backcourt. Now loose ball. Bodies are down. And it'll go to the Citadel. It'll be Citadel ball on the inbounds as Perkins leaves to be replaced by Martin. And Chris Brust will also come back along with Jimmy Braddock for James Worthy and Michael Jordan.
See how my predictions turn out? I said he wouldn't do that. Send those substitutes in, Dean Smith. And he's done it.
Right again, Boone.
He did not know I said it.
He really should have checked with you at the break.
That's all right. They're in a zone now, 2-3 zone. They're just going to let them play it out if they want to. They're going to hang back like a shoot it.
Delaposes a little bit long. Braddock knocked it away from Hughley, but it's picked up by Gilbert.
Now, I'll say this, North Carolina's after them.
They certainly are that. Right into the hands of big Chris Brust.
He did a block-out job, too.
Black fakes it low to Martin. Goes in the corner to Braddock. Warren Martin finds help in Jimmy Black. There's Jim Braddock. Not having the shooting night tonight that he had last night. John Sterling will come on the floor in a moment despite having 4 fouls as Hughley charges into Jimmy Black. Hughley appears to be a little shaken up as Black comes up slowly.
Watch Hughley now. He's got the ball. Starts a turnaround, drives. And you see Black had position now. There wasn't any question about the foul. It was there.
Jim Braddock gives way to Mike Jordan. So Jordan's time on the bench, at least this time around, proves to be very short-lived. Louis Gilbert left in favor of Sterling. And again, be cognizant of the fact that John Sterling picked up 4 first-half fouls. Carolina 42, the Citadel 28, 13-40 remaining in the game. Martin has his shot blocked by Wells Holland. It'll be Carolina ball.
Yeah, it was a block shot, all right. Martin can't get up too high from that position. He's not a Perkins or Worthy. You see it again. Watch him turn now. And the man really hit the ball. Might have got a little skin, but he hit the ball.
Carolina possession. Worthy for Brust. Carolina 4 for 6 here in the second half. That's 67%. The Citadel only 1 for 7. Quick pass inside. Doherty shooting and hung and fell away, but he was fouled. Doherty will shoot a pair. Wells Holland gets his first. That is the second team foul. Carolina's yet to be charged with one, and now it's Sam Perkins back for Warren Martin. So Dean Smith making quick substitutions, giving some of his regulars a chance to get a blow on the bench before sending them right out there again. That's a first free throw miss for the Tar Heels. They were 6 out of 6 in the first half. Worthy, Kansas, 7th point. 43-28. It's now 15. Up the floor, Gilbert left by himself. Black tries to recover, and Perkins came out of nowhere to absolutely deny him the basket.
He denied him, and Sterling went over and patted him on the back. Here you see the long pass going down court. See the hands up. Now you watch this situation. A fake. Now watch, Perkins is coming, and he's coming fast. And there it will be no basket because Gilbert will have to go to the line and do his work.
He's 50% of the way home as he scores his 3rd point of the night. 43-29. And the Bulldogs trail by 13.
Not bad,
43-30. 14-15 to go in the game. Jimmy Black making his move. Matt Doherty wanting Worthy to come up and set up on the same side of the floor he's on. Doherty gets it right back and pumps it in. Matt Doherty has scored 6. Carolina again up by 15 as Delaposis brings it front court and finds Wells Holland. 45-30. 13:35 on the clock. Black tried to steal it and it goes out of bounds. And Les Robinson appealing to the official to call a holding foul against Black. But the men in stripes did not see it that way. Gilbert looking around as DeGreer Hughley. He splits 2 defenders and keeps his dribble alive.
You have to say he's a gutty little rascal, that Hughley is.
Boy, he sure is.
He is truly a strong man inside.
Citadel very patiently staying with its game despite the fact they're trailing by 15 points at 45-30.
He walked with it.
Under 13 minutes remaining. Tony belly up against Mike Jordan. Tar Heels looking to go 18-2 on the year. Trying to send the Citadel down to its 9th loss compared with 11 wins. NC State won the earlier opener tonight 67-55, defeating Furman. So 17 wins against only 5 losses for Jim Valvano's Wolfpack.
Well, that's a tough defense to move the ball on and keep it as long as they have.
Sterling puts it up and draws the James Worthy personal foul.
5-2.
2 team fouls, 2 fouls on James Worthy. And the shooter will be John Sterling. So far scoreless tonight, the sophomore from Greenville, South Carolina.
John Sterling will go to the line of the Bulldogs. He'll have 2 shots. 2 shots.
The Citadel has scored, but now 7 points in the first almost 8 minutes of the second half. Carolina was up 32-24 at halftime, leading 45-32 now. So the Tar Heels, even though Sterling hits 2 in a row, still have added some 5 points to its 8-point halftime advantage. Doherty inside to Worthy where he weaves his magic. It didn't go, but the follow shot by Perkins does. 10 points for Big Sam Perkins. Once again, they go to their perimeter passing. Sterling elects to put it up. Over the rim for the rebound is Worthy. He springs out of the pack trying to lead the break. Bodies go flying as Worthy hit Doherty. Got it back. Contact made underneath the Carolina basket, and Perkins or Worthy's going to be called for a charging foul. So he gets 2 very quickly to bring his game total to 3 as a timeout has been called on the floor. 11 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the game. The Tar Heels lead the Citadel by some 15 at 47-32. We'll pause for these messages on the Raycom Sports Network. Well, the Tar Heels with a comfortable 15-point lead, 47-32. You say this is a non-contact sport? Take a look.
Our director, Billy McCoy, said this is a real mismatch. The ball goes back. You see Worthy there? Hughley really got it in the head with his belt buckle.
That's what you call paying the price, folks.
Worthy,
meanwhile, sits down with 3 fouls. 2 of them came in a hurry. He's been replaced by Chris Brust. Carolina applies the pressure. Citadel has no problem. Gilbert in possession. Now to Hughley out front. Buzz Peterson has also come back for North Carolina. And he is right now in the process of checking Gerald Toney. So Doherty has joined Worthy on the bench, with Brust and Peterson in, joining Jimmy Black, Michael Jordan, and Sam Perkins. Hughley, Toney, short, rebounded by Jordan. He wants to lead a 3-on-2 break. Off to Billy Jimmy Black. Jimmy backing off against the defensive Gilbert, and Sam Perkins from 19 straight away. A dozen points for the sophomore from Latham, New York, Sam Perkins. He's averaging 15-7. Tops on the club. Worthy close behind at 15-5. Carolina again really playing aggressively on defense. They're getting after it. 49-32. Shot banked in by Gerald Toney.
He didn't want to take that, I don't believe.
He really didn't. It didn't appear so. 49-34. We head to the final 10 minutes of play. As Peterson had an idea, thought better of it. Hughley on a cross-court pass intended for Black. There's Mr. Perkins, the ever-present Mr. Sam Perkins.
There's Johnny on the spot.
Michael Jordan. So Carolina starting to open up some heavyweight daylight, now leading by 17 at 51-34. 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, and the Citadel elects to discuss the current predicament that they are involved in. Trailing by some 17 points with 9 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the game. North Carolina 51 to Citadel 34. Let's take a timeout for these messages on the Raycom Sports Network. North Carolina was 72% second half shooting to only 18% for the Citadel, has jumped out in front by 17 big ones, 51-34. Louis Gilbert, Felipe De La Posas. That man, Greer Hughley, along with Wells Holland and John Sterling with the ball. The alley-oop to Wells Holland. They pulled it off beautifully, too, as Holland took the pass from Hughley. No contest. 51-36.
Now they're going to see if North Carolina will play basketball. They're going into the zone. Citadel's in the zone. They'll see if Carolina will play them.
Buzz Peterson. Yes.
Now, he can do that, too. That wasn't an accident.
The first for the freshman from Asheville, 53-36. Holland dribbles away from trouble, plays to Sterling, now to Gilbert. Big James Worthy jumps into his face. Worthy came back following the timeout. They go to Sterling inside, over Black, no good, and James Worthy knocked that baby up into the nickel seats.
Looked like to me it was a fly ball. Foul by a few feet.
Michael Jordan is back for Carolina. Buzz Peterson in long enough to knock in a rainmaker. He retires to the Carolina bench. Sterling blind passing to Toney, running right into Matt Doherty, turns and shoots it. Worthy hands it off to Black. Carolina with a hoop here, leads by 19. Jimmy Black traveled, they didn't call it.
He sure did.
Low it goes to Worthy. Bad pass intended for Perkins, picked off by the little guy, Hughley. Delaposas. Sterling finds it open. Good move by John Sterling.
They haven't quit. That bunch from the Citadel keeps fighting back like Bulldogs.
53-38. 7 minutes, 42 seconds. All that remains of this one. Final game of the North-South doubleheader. Jump hook by Sam Perkins.
Oh, man. Needs something else.
He has scored 14. Jimmy Black has 12. They are the two Tar Heels in double figures. Jordan needs a field goal to get there. He's got 8 points. Della Poses fires. No good, and Mike Jordan is there to claim it for the Tar Heels. Jordan will pull the trigger. Well, Doherty was right there for the rebound. Worthy didn't know it. James tried to slap it off to an unseen Carolina teammate, only to have Citadel get the ball back. And at the other end, a foul call against Jimmy Black. Guarding too closely, Wells Holland. That is the first on Black and Carolina's 4th team foul. Holland gives way to Sean Brown, a 6'7" freshman from Charleston, South Carolina.
They're going to have to, Citadel's going to have to start taking that ball to the basket now. Time's running out.
Hughley will let it go. Hughley with 6 points, 4:55 to 40. 17-point lead has been the biggest for the Tar Heels. It's now down to 15. And everything going in Carolina's favor. They really came out smoking in terms of their ability to hit the basket here in the second half. We mentioned a moment ago they were up over 70% for their second half shooting efforts. That ball deflected, and it'll go to the Citadel.
Yeah, it slipped out of Doherty's hand.
Della Poses appeared to touch it, but apparently he didn't. The ball just got off the hands of Matt Doherty. Sterling inside. Della Poses needs help. Finds it in Sean Brown. The fadeaway partially deflected by Perkins. Worthy, Black. Up ahead it goes to Doherty. And foul by Gerald Toney as Matt turned and threaded the needle with a pass. He was fouled on a play.
Yeah, but Dean Smith wanted him to put that ball up. You got to see the play. You're going to see a long pass. That long pass is meant for Doherty. You see he could have gone on to the basket with it. Instead, he turns and throws the ball back out. Foul was called on the play, and only gets to take it out of bounds. It's still probably a 3-point play. He overpasses sometimes. Doherty does.
Well, they'll give Sam Perkins that shot, and he'll earn him again.
Don't give him much.
Well, he hit one a step inside the top of the key a couple of minutes ago when they dropped off of him, and this time he drills the bottom of the net from the baseline. 57 to 40. Loose ball. Picked up by Sean Brown. Off to Toney. Had an idea. Sets a pick for Della Poses. In and out. Carolina claims a rebound. Perkins hit the underpinning of the backboard. One official, the trail official, did not see it, but another one did. And now Dean Smith is going to argue that call.
Well, I think the referee's right.
Oh, absolutely he's right.
There's no question about that.
Perkins picked off the rebound and trying to get the outlet pass to key a fast break. He hit the underpinning of the backboard. Well, maybe not. The ball goes back to the Tar Heels. Les Robinson wants a clarification of that decision, or does he want a timeout?
He wants a clarification, and the only way he's going to get it is with a timeout.
So he is forced to take a timeout to find out exactly how the official ruled when they first awarded the ball to the Citadel and gives it right back to Carolina. Raycom Sports coverage of the North-South doubleheader continues after we pause for this timeout. Okay, we're back at it again with 5:30 to go in the ball game. Tar Heels up by 17, 57 to 40. Worthy cutting down the lane, hoping to get the pass from Perkins, but it was checked pretty well by John Sterling. Matt Dart, or rather Michael Jordan, gets a pick, double clutches it up, misses, gets his own rebound back, can't get it to go, loose ball. They battle for it, Della Poses, and a foul. It's going to be called against Sam Perkins. He can't believe the call.
I can't either.
Number 3 on Sam, number 5 on the team.
Got to do a little homework down there. I have to do that at home. Do you, Marty? I can tell.
Yeah, I do.
Too late.
You have to do your homework.
That's right.
Exactly 5 minutes to go in the game as Hughley tries to knock it in from downtown. Jimmy Black brings it front court, puts it up. He wanted to pass it and had no choice but to throw it up. Tie up. James Worthy, Sean Brown. And it'll be Citadel ball. Carolina's out-rebounded the Bulldogs here in the second half, 11-6. Les Robinson, I'm sure, felt like Worthy fouled his freshman Brown on the play, but it wasn't called. Instead, a jump ball, and the possession goes to Citadel.
Even the Citadel fans want to fight over that one. Oh, me.
Tony, tell you, you'd think that the Citadel would be going to a hurry-up offense, but they are still working that ball around despite the fact down by 17. They have had a subpar shooting second half in every sense of the word. And it goes to Perkins. There's that jump hook. And it wouldn't have counted. Mike Jordan called for offensive goaltending as the ball was rolling around the iron. We'll take a look at it once again.
You're going to see Sam Perkins take the shot from just about the foul line, or maybe a little bit further, closer in. The shot goes up. You see it rolling around. Now, he cannot touch it now. The ball's on the rim. Jordan came in, made a foolish move at it, but that's a freshman for you.
Back to the live action. Carolina forces a turnover to get it back very quickly with 3:55 on the clock and a 17-point Tar Heel lead. They led at 8 at halftime. They have built it to 17. That's been their biggest second half lead. Worthy will try to make it 19. Doherty keeps it alive with a tip to Sam Perkins. Perkins has been tough from the outside while he puts up the shot. A whistle and a foul off the ball.
I think it was a 3-second call, the first one I've seen this year. The first one.
Is that right?
Right.
Sterling slowly leaves as he heads to the Citadel bench. He's been replaced by Wells Holland. And Reagan Truesdale, a 6'4" freshman from Kershaw, South Carolina, is in for the first time. Truesdale just gave it up to Holland. Holland left open, will fire. Perkins up ahead, it goes to Jimmy Black, 3-on-1 break. Off to Matt Doherty, kicks it off to Worthy. Got the slam, won't count. The dunk by Worthy will not count because of a Citadel foul on a Carolina fast break.
I think Doherty would rather pass that ball than to shoot it. And that's the difference between Doherty and Bones McKinney. You see the pass go off to Doherty. Now watch. Tries to dump it. He was fouled on the play. That's twice it's happened. But they got absolutely nothing but the ball.
Team foul number 4 against the Citadel, and Jimmy Black will act as a trigger man. Jim Braddock has come back in for the Tar Heels, replacing Matt Doherty. Worthy looks to Black inside.
You just turned his head, and brother, you can't do that.
A 14-point night for Jimmy Black. And Carolina is out in front with their biggest lead, 59-40. Delaposis.
Beautiful.
That's 10 points for the junior from Miami, Florida. A bid for the steal by Holland. He comes up empty-handed.
4 substitutes coming in. I know what I'd do if I were one of those players on the floor. I'd take me a shot. But if you're going to get out, you're going to be out there in a minute.
All but one will leave because Martin, Barlow, Bruss, and Exum are all waiting to come in. Perkins has got the shot and fouled by Wells Holland.
He's just unbelievable. Sam can do things that no other man can do. And I think that's because he's left-handed. And I know somebody else left-handed. You see the pass to Perkins. He was not able to slam dunk it, but he came down, got the ball. As he was fouled, he went back up. I don't know how he made it. I really don't know how he made it.
A high bank that just very politely dropped back through.
Yeah, I think some people are born that way. Lucky.
Yeah. Well, the only man who is still on the floor, at least for the moment. is Jimmy Braddock and Sam Perkins, because Warren Martin is still waiting. He's gonna come on for Sam Perkins when the opportunity arises. 61-42 North Carolina. Final 2 minutes of play. Tony on the drive. He's fouled. And that will allow Warren Martin to come on, replacing, no doubt, Sam Perkins. Cecil Exum commits a personal foul. And that's a shooting foul for Tony. So everybody except two have gotten in on the act tonight, those two being both freshmen, Lynn Robinson and John Brownlee. Two shots in the offing for Gerald Tony. Now in between, well, apparently...
Man left the line, he can't do it.
He certainly did. Once he got that ball, you cannot do that, and he did it, and that's a violation against the Citadel that gives the ball back to the Tar Heels.
Quick move by the referee, did a good job, and Les Robinson knew immediately what the trouble was.
Jimmy Braddock checking the defense as he backs off now against Truesdale.
Now, if I were one of those substitutes, I'd give me some points now.
Warren Martin lets it go. He gets it back and puts it in. 6 points for Warren Martin. 63-42. It's back up to 19 with 1:25 to go. And the alley-oop to Wells Holland. They have worked that twice to perfection.
They're a well-coached basketball team. They're just outmanned.
Holland's been on the receiving end both times. Chris Brush.
They're all putting it up now, Marty.
Might as well.
This is playtime.
There it is again. This time, Warren Martin was ready for it and knocked it out of bounds. Now Lynn Robinson, Timo Makinen, and John Brownlee. The only three who have not played. A moment ago I said Brownlee and Robinson, but they'll replace Martin, Brust, and Braddock. Here's a jumper by Sean Brown. The rebound by John Brownlee. The freshman from Fort Worth makes his presence known. Lynn Robinson up ahead to Cecil Exum, left open. Rebounded by Barlow. Banks it up and in. 65-44. 43, 42 seconds remaining. Up the floor comes Greer Hughley. Off to Delaposas. He's trying to get well offensively and got the bounce of the ball. Inbounds goes to Makinen. He finds Barlow. Bounce passing to Exum. Cecil drives, stops, shoots, got it.
They're having the ball now.
They are that. 67-46. Ticking off the final seconds of play. Delaposas runs right into Makinen, who's called for the personal foul. Terry Tucker, 6'7", he's a senior from Oak Lawn, Illinois, replaces Gerald Tony, and he's got to be a very tired young man.
He's played hard, he's played well.
Shooting will be Delaposas. He has scored 12. He's 2 for 2 from the line. Rebounded by Brownlee. John Seconson's coming off the bench just a few seconds ago. There's an interception by Hughley. He's on the move. He shovels it off inside. Loose ball. Exum racing for the ball along with Delaposas, who commits a foul. So the clock stops with only 3 seconds to go. And that still doesn't put Carolina in the penalty. So Carolina will have 3 seconds to try and add to a 21-point lead. As you look at the Carolina bench, they have retired for the night. It goes to Jeb Barlow. Barlow lets it go at the buzzer, and that's it. North Carolina, after the Citadel played them very tough in the first half, the Heels led by 8. They roll here in the second half and defeat the Citadel Bulldogs. Final score, 67-46. We'll be back with more after this timeout. Carolina safely tucks away its 18th victory of the season, a 21-point win over the Citadel, 67-46. Sam Perkins with 18, Jimmy Black with 14, the double-figure scorers for North Carolina, while the high point men for the Citadel Bulldogs, Gerald Toney with 11, Felipe Delaposis with 12, and Wells Holland with 10. The Citadel now 11-9, losing to NC State last night by 10 and dropping a 67-46 decision to North Carolina tonight. So Carolina wins both games of their doubleheader action here in Charlotte. And NC State, of course, did the same thing. The Wolfpack picking up a victory in the opening game tonight by 10 over Furman. And we'll be back to wrap up tonight's second game after these messages. This is a Raycom Sports Network.